Gentlemen, what is going on today? My name is Ryan Mickler. I'm your host and the founder of the Order of Man podcast and movement. Welcome here and welcome back. This is your Friday Field Notes. I'm going to share some thoughts with you. And some of these thoughts I'm going to share with you today regarding building male friendships is really stems from the Facebook group because there's been a lot of questions about building male friendships and how to connect with a band of brothers and how to do this. It's really not that complicated. It just takes some initiative, some effort, and some consistency. So we're going to talk about how to build out your male friendships and why that's even important. Before we do, just want to mention very quickly that our Iron Council, which is our exclusive brotherhood, which is another great resource for building relationships with other men who have your back and are in your corner. That's going to be opening up December 15th. So a little less than, what is that, 2 or 3 weeks now. So December 15th, you can check it out at orderofman.com/Iron Council. Now, the other thing I want to mention, and this doesn't directly relate to you as men, but I get so many questions from guys about where the women's equivalent of what we're doing is. And that is called Revitalized Womanhood. This is run by Gina Trimmer, and she's doing a phenomenal job doing things very similar to what we're doing here with Order of Man and the Iron Council. So if you have a woman in your life, whether that's your wife or your girlfriend or a sister, mother, who's interested in connecting with other women, helping each other out, lifting each other up, not judging each other, but serving and helping each other grow like we do within Order of Man and Iron Council for men, then check out revitalizedwomanhood.com, revitalizedwomanhood.com. All right. So with that said, let's get into the discussion today, which again is how to build male friendships. Now, before I get into these 4 or 5 strategies here, we need to know that this is important. And many of us do. Many of us understand the importance of building out male friendships. There are still some guys who believe in this lone wolf mentality. And I think that can work to a degree as long as things are running smoothly. But when it hits the fan is when you really begin to realize that maybe you've neglected building out a band of brothers around you. Generally, I think men with brothers, friends, men in their corner are going to be happy. They're going to be more productive. They're going to be more effective. They're going to be more fulfilled. They're going to have outlets that they can deal with the stressors of life through. So it's crucial. It's very, very crucial that we have these male friendships. Now, sometimes we just get inundated with life. We're busy with our families. We're busy with our businesses. We're busy with other endeavors. And so this gets pushed to the back burner. And then again, like I said a minute ago, when it hits the fan and things go south, you realize very quickly that you don't have men in your corner. And that could be very detrimental physically, mentally, emotionally. And so we got to do a better job building this out. So let's just talk about 4 quick strategies, 4 or 5 maybe. Did I write 5? I did. I wrote 5 quick strategies and we'll break down each one. Number 1, you got to know what you want in a friendship. A lot of us develop and build out our friendships through default. Maybe it's the guy that you work with. It's an old high school buddy. It might happen to be your neighbor. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. But if that individual isn't helping you on the path and you aren't helping that person on the path, then it's just a relationship of default and it's not as good as it could otherwise be. So what I would suggest to you is that you get crystal clear about what you're looking for in a brother, in a friendship, in another individual. Are they fit? Are they a family man? Are they career oriented? Are they entrepreneurial driven? Are they ambitious? Are they motivated? Or on the other hand, are they lazy? Are they a slob? Are they not motivated? Are they overweight? Are they struggling with their finances? And not that that person has less inherent worth as a human being, but if you're going to choose your friends, then you ought to choose wisely. You know, we've all heard the adage of you are the average of your 5 closest people. Well, that certainly applies when it comes to the male friendships that you have in your life. So don't just do these things by default. But there's another reason why knowing what you're looking for in a male friendship is important, is because there's already people in your life who probably hit on some of these characteristics. They're successful in business. They're a successful family man. They are motivated. They are ambitious. They're engaging in the hobbies and activities that either you're interested in or have some level of interest in. If you know what you want, you know what you're looking for, then it's going to be easier for you to identify who these individuals might be and then to reach out and start building and developing a friendship from there. Number two, a lot of this is within your control. Okay, you are going to become attractive. And I know that verbiage might sound strange when we're talking about male friendships, but you are going to become attractive on a platonic level if you are a high value man. If you take care of yourself, if you have morning and evening routines, if you are ambitious, if you're fit, if your finances are in order. And I'll tell you why that is, because you're going to be confident and other people are going to see it. Men are going to see it. Women are going to see it. And so many people call it the X factor. X as in variable, X as in a variable they don't understand, but we understand it. The X factor that the people that have it possess is not some mystical force at play. It's a level of confidence they have because they've earned that confidence through their actions. So I want you to take a look at part one is what you're looking for in a male friendship, but part two, and these aren't necessarily in any order here, but part two is look at where you need to shore up your life. If you want to surround yourself with fit people, but you're 40, 50, 60 pounds overweight, that's going to be a harder bridge to gap. If you want to work with and make friends with financially successful people or entrepreneurs, and yet you're up to your eyeballs in debt, and you don't run a business and you don't have your finances in order, that's going to be a harder bridge to gap. But if you are working towards those things and you are getting fit and you are active in your community, you are active in your business, you are getting your finances in order, you're doing all the things that you want to be doing, then you're naturally going to find yourself around other men who are doing the same things. You guys are going to go to the same conferences, you're going to go to the same activities, you're going to go to the same church, and you're going to be in proximity more likely to these types of individuals than the guy who is fat and lazy and a slob and unmotivated. So inventory yourself. As much as you're inventorying other people, inventory yourself, because winners hang out with winners. Losers hang out with losers. If you're surrounded by losers, you might want to ask, are you a loser? I can't make that call, but you can. And if you want to be surrounded by winners, then you need to elevate yourself in order to connect with these types of individuals. So inventory others, inventory yourself as well. Number three, go where these men go. Go where these men are. Or you have to put yourself out there and get in, as I said earlier, to proximity to these individuals. They're at races. They're at business luncheons. They're at church functions. They're at conferences. They're hiking. They're involved in continuing education, whether that's formal or informal education. Go where these individuals are. Put yourself in proximity. And I don't think there's ever been a time that's been easier than we have in modern times. Type in your interest on the internet and then type in your city, and you're going to find an interest in your city and be able to go connect with these other individuals. Now, I fielded a question on Wednesday on our Ask Me Anything, and it was talking about how to find these individuals. Or I think the guy who asked the question was an introvert, so he didn't know, he was socially awkward, I think, and didn't know how to do that. Yeah, I get it. It's uncomfortable to show up to a function or a conference of some sort and you not know anybody else. Yeah, that's definitely uncomfortable. But if you want to build out male friendships and you want to have a band of brothers and you want to be surrounded by winners, then you're going to have to sacrifice. And you're going to have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Go to jiu-jitsu. That's a place where I've met a lot of men in this area that I would never have met otherwise. And we're connected through jiu-jitsu, certainly, but some of those relationships have bonded and forged outside of the mats. But you have to go where these guys are. You have to put yourself out there. You have to get over your awkwardness or the discomfort of being around high quality and high caliber men. But again, there are so many opportunities. Just go to a conference, go to a business conference. I guarantee if you go to a business conference and you, even one of ours, Main Event or Legacy or Uprising, if you come to one of those events and you come with the attitude of connecting with other guys, it would be impossible impossible not to find other men that you can connect and resonate with and build a friendship with. So go where these guys are. Number 4, this is really, really important. We've all heard the term or the phrase, I'm sure, that the fortune is in the follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up. So what I wrote here is that you need to find a way to add value to these men's lives, right? If you come into the relationship and you're not adding value to other people, then really, what's the point of having you around? What's the point of continuing some sort of friendship? Well, there really isn't much of a point. And so the friendship never buds and never has any legs. But if, on the other hand, you're asking these individuals about what their struggles are, what their goals are, what their desires are, what their ambitions are, and then you're finding ways to meet those needs. Maybe it's making an introduction. Maybe it's bringing another man into your circle who could really feel a need for that individual, and you're the guy who syncs those two up. But there's another way to add value, and it's often overlooked. If there's a person who is a high caliber man and they have an element or a facet or even every element of their life locked in, dialed in, and you want to learn from this person, adding value might simply be asking really good questions and then following up with it. So, for example, if your marriage is struggling and you know somebody who has a thriving marriage and has been married for 30 years and has a wonderful family, you might ask that person, hey, I'm struggling with communication, for example, with my wife. And I'm wondering, are there some things that you could share with me that would help me communicate more effectively with my wife? And of course, that man is going to share that information with you. And then what you have to do is you actually have to act on it. So then you go back and you have a conversation with your wife with the new tools that you're learning. And hopefully that helps and that serves your marriage. And then you come back to the individual and you say, hey, man, you were telling me about how to communicate more effectively with my wife. And I tried a couple of those things over the past month or two. And I got to tell you, our communication has never been better. And I just wanted to thank you for letting me know. Believe it or not, even though you feel you extracted the most value out of that interaction, you're actually providing value to that person by giving them an opportunity to serve other people. And high value men love to serve other people. They live to serve other people, whether it's their family, their wife, their kids, their friends, their colleagues, their coworkers. They want to serve others. And if you give them that opportunity and you don't slap them in the face by not following through, but you actually follow through and then communicate with them how it worked in your life, you are going to be a value add to that dynamic, to that relationship. So look for opportunities, look for connections, look for ways to add value, to serve, and then give other men opportunities to serve you, because that's the point of a friendship. It's reciprocal. It's not even reciprocal. It's not based on, hey, if you give me this, then I'll give you this. It's just a two-way street. I'm going to try to add as much value to your life as possible. And I know, because you're a high value man, you're going to try to add as much value to other people's lives, mine included. And then the last thing, guys, here is, and this falls in line with nurturing the relationship, or excuse me, with adding value to their lives and being consistent, is that you have to continue to nurture the relationship. This is not like a one and done type deal. Hey, I needed help and this guy gave me help and that was it. Or, hey, I connected with this guy and we hit it off and we really like the same activities. We participate both in jujitsu or triathlons or photography or hiking or competitive shooting. And so that's it. It's all going to work out. No, guys. You have to be hyper consistent in nurturing the relationship, just like you would with a romantic relationship. Okay. You have to continue to invite this person to events. You have to continue to add value to their lives. You have to bring them over. You have to connect the wives with each other, if that's applicable. And the more that you can nurture the relationship, reach out, give that guy a text. Hey man, it's been a while since we connected. I've been thinking about you. Is everything good? How's the marriage? How's your family? How's your kids? How's your work? How's your fitness? Or if you see something taking place that shouldn't be taking place, hey man, I just wanted to give you a call real quick because I got to call you out on something. I love you. I care about you. I want you to win. And therefore I'm seeing something and I just wanted to bring it to your attention. I don't know if it's something on your radar or not, but I care about you and I want you to win. This is how we continue to nurture relationships. And again, it's never been easier. We have our cell phones, we have social media, we can text, we can call. Maybe you see that person at work or it's a neighbor and you invite them over for a barbecue or for fight night. It's easy stuff. It's very, very easy stuff. And I can't help but think that when men ask, hey, I'm trying to build other friendships, male friendships, they realize the need and the importance of that. That when they ask for how to do it, it's not like I'm giving you any earth-shaking, groundbreaking information that you've never heard before. I think when most men ask about this, they want a quick and easy way to do it, like some sort of Tinder for male friendships. That's not how it works. It's going to be awkward. It's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to have to try to build a lot of relationships that don't connect for whatever reason. And over time, you're going to find that you have a core group of men who you value, who they value you, and your life is better for it, and their life is better for it. And on the back of Thanksgiving, which was yesterday as of the release of this podcast, I'm grateful for good friends. I'm grateful for men who are in my corner, men who invite me to breakfast. I just went to breakfast last week with my good friend, Pete Roberts. He called me up. Hey, man, you want to go catch breakfast? He's a busy guy. I'm a busy guy. We sat down for 45 minutes over breakfast, caught up, all as well. But I'm grateful for other guys, Matt Schmigdal that I hunt with, and Sam and Wayne and Rick and Chris, and all the guys that I connect with over hunting, friends that I've made through this podcast. Like, it's important that we express our gratitude. And it's also important that we pick up the call. Steve Weatherford, Granger Smith, his good friend, like pick up the phone and just text these guys. Hey, man, I appreciate you. I've been thinking about you. Thanks for everything that you add into my life. I would challenge you to do that. That's part of the nurturing process. Hey, I'm thinking about you. I care about you. I want you to win. I'm here to serve if you need me. So I hope that helps, guys. Again, it requires sacrifice. It requires commitment. It requires even some discomfort at times. But if you want to build male friendships, and you should, because you need those guys in your corner, especially when things are going going south. If you want to build up those friendships, that's a quick and easy way to do it. Not quick. That's not even easy. That's a simple way to do it. But you got to put in the work. Again, know what you're wanting out of a male friendship and relationship. Number two, become that type of person, a high value man who is the same type of person that you're looking for in others. Number three, go where these men are active, conferences, events, those type of things. Add value to their lives. And then number five, continue to nurture the relationship. I hope that helps, guys. If you have additional resources, tips, ideas, strategies, tactics, let me know. Shoot me an email or hit me up on Instagram. In fact, do this on Instagram. Just take a screenshot of the podcast right now, post it up in stories on Instagram, and tag your buddies. Tag the guys who are in your corner, tag the guys that you're in their corner, and let them know that you're thinking about them, and also be able to share this podcast and resource with them. All right, guys, that's it. We'll be back next week. Until then, go out there, take action, and become the man you are meant to be.